Hello, hello, everybody. I am sorry. I know Okami's late. What a shocker. I have literally so much to get done. I'm having so much anxiety because I have so much to get done. Um, I literally like, oh my goodness, I have like this big project for work where I have to get all the print on demand items back up on the website, and I've got 80 something items up in like 2 days. Well, I'm not even, I don't even know how much more we honestly need to have up there. And I gotta get a whole list. I gotta make a whole doc of websites that have stolen art, that have stolen Jen's art so she can send to the lawyer. Um, and I still have not packed for tomorrow. I still have not cleaned around the house in preparation for being gone for the weekend. So I am very, very anxious right now. I've got too much to do. I've got not enough time. I know. I'm gonna pack tomorrow. I have to try to get as much more work as I can get done. I was up all night. Like, I was up for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours, just straight up doing work, just straight up putting printful items on the website. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Like, oh, let it end. Please go faster. Oh, there's no like fast way to do it, unfortunately. So it's just like individual items and making the patterns correct and applying the patterns and then applying the tags and then tagging them in the right thing. Oh my gosh, it's like, it is so, gosh, there's no quick way to do it. Honestly though, but like, I'm gonna be real, at least this weekend I'm gonna be kind of off. I'm gonna be off work mode because I kind of can't do work while I'm at mini kit. So speaking of, this is our finale, not finale, I shouldn't say finale, our final stream for the week, because tomorrow mini kit marathon will be starting, which will be supporting Make-A-Wish. So if anybody would like to help donate during pre-marathon fundraising, if you don't think you'll be around for mini kit, and you'd like to make a donation to the kids at Make-A-Wish, feel free to look up with _charity. I don't even have to stuff my suitcase. It's not, it's not a long marathon. It's just, it's literally just the fact I have way too much work to get done. And not enough, like it was just awful timing with the whole print on demand situation happening before getting into charity marathon mode. And my house is kind of a little bit of a mess, and I'm like, I can't get anything done. I'm like about to cry in a corner. Don't you dare. But so I don't really know if it'll be a full 3-hour stream tonight. I'm gonna be super honest. I'm gonna see how things go. If I have to end at a 2-hour mark, just because I feel like I have to get things done, stream for 2 minutes, then go to sleep. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm planning to do an all-nighter. I'm planning to do another all-nighter. I did an all-nighter last night. I'm planning to do an all-nighter tonight. I just like want to get, I just want to get so much done, and nobody tell Jen I've been pulling all-nighters. I think actually I did tell her I pulled an all-nighter, so I've already given myself away. But yeah, we're gonna jump back into case 2. I don't know how much further we have to go of case 2, but I'm trying to remember. We figured out there was a stowaway on the ship besides us. A ballerina who has run away with a tiara that's worth a lot of money. So that kind of happened. We're being framed for murder, of course. We're being framed for Cosmo's murder, which I'm still not okay with. I'm really hoping they pull the rug out from under my eyes and he's not really dead, but I highly somehow doubt that. And Herlock Sholmes appeared, and we have to clear our name. Of course, 2 cases in a row where we have to clear our name, so we're gonna see how this is gonna go. So we're just gonna get right into the swing of it again. Continue, please. Oh, right, and I forgot to mention we are on a ship. No, it is not the Titanic. I'm very disappointed. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh yes, he's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. So, we're gonna have to look around, because I don't think there's anywhere we can really go. He's definitely not gonna let us through. I am not eating the cheese. What cheese? Oh, the cheese on the floor, right. I forgot there's cheese on the... Wait, was the cheese there last time? Oh, it's... I can't remember if the cheese was actually there last time for some reason. I mean, can we go this way now? That door leads to the second class area. It's locked. I can't open it. No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape. Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that I'm still not the murderer. Okay, so yeah, can't go through there. Can I look at these? That book on top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it, too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. I mean, we're kind of just assuming that though, right? I mean, there could have been something. First class cabin number 1. That's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodations is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Anyway, I wonder if Inspector Hosanaga has managed to uncover any new clues. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. So I think that's pretty much everything up here. I don't suspect anything else. But we can't... Oh yeah, we can't move there. It looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosanaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yeah. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. So can we move there? Or is he... We gotta examine more in here. Like, is there anything else in here that's new? I mean, he's here, so let's talk to him, but I'm like, is there anything new in here? What happened to him? Oh my gosh! Looks like he got into a fight behind a Denny's. What happened? You're back. Inspector? What happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh? I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes? I don't think he was German, though. That explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found. Yes, let's do it. I can't believe Hosonaga died of tuberculosis off-screen. Tuberculosis doesn't give you a... like beat up glasses, a black and blued eye. I'm worried some of his teeth might have come loose. I have no clue. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? I'm sure the pummeling didn't help his lungs. Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least. How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? I mean, would it be irony if they did? Now I've definitely upset him. What about if they were an ex-angel and you don't know about it? Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there's one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. Oh, new information, there we go. I didn't do anything to Hosonaga. That was the captain. I cannot throw hands for the life of me if I tried. Hi, Shad, how are you? What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Burias medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report. Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebra is what's written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury, so at first I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine of the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. He's the only one here that trusts us. I swear I'm gonna cry. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? She's starting to feel a little guilty. I mean, I can't blame her. like, for thinking it was us. But I'm just crying that Hosanaga has, like, such unwavering faith. I have no idea. I am not an expert in maritime law. I will fully admit. I've never even stepped foot on a ship before. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he? Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept out on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red, then? Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffled on the floor? Okay. That explains why I love Hosanaga so much, though. I mean, I love Gumshoe to death. That would explain it. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. Oh, no. Well. I feel terrible that I failed to protect Usogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke up this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. I find it hard to believe we all conveniently have a migraine at the exact same time. That would be like just some wonky timing. So can I actually go back outside and see if there's anything to do yet? Not great at his job, but a heart of gold. I would say they're good at their jobs when they always have like that moment to shine when in these games where you feel like you're stuck at a crucial point. There's like this crucial junction and you're stuck and everything's about to go wrong, and then, you know, of course Gumshoe would just come busting in and be like, I have the answer. Look, Naruhodo-san! Seaman Stroganov is gone. Strong enough? The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us? All these Russian names are impossible to remember. Tra-la-la. Oh no. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. I feel like this is the lead up to a horror, like just a scene in a horror movie. Tra-la-la, lea-la-lea-la-lay. I did it the great detective way. Is that Sholmes? Miss caroling? I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. You're right. We must seize it. Let's go inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. Oh my gosh. Ryanosuke, it's not that hard. I mean, I get seasick too. But, like, the chances of everyone being seasick is kind of crazy. This is before the age of Dramamine. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right, for Kazuma's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at port, in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. She finally believes in us.
More passion.
Hi, Nacho. How are you?
Energy, more footwork.
More footwork, not on this boat, because I'm going to get sick or trip on something, or both. Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. Hi, Twin, how are you? I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? That is a loose animal on the ship. I mean, there's only so many places it can go, right? I can't find anything out of place. Okay, I thought maybe that bag might have been something. Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry? I'm right here, yes. Why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see. You know, I do. After watching the Chronicles of Narnia, that was me for like a solid year. Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Are you ready to get hunted by Lego Tom Nook? Look, I just want Lego Blathers, okay? I just want a Lego Animal Crossing game, period. So then we are, like, legally obligated to play an Animal Crossing game in Minikit. So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door. Yes, although what a foolish shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. What else is different in this room? The garbage? I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san, it's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know? Those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. I'm also hot garbage. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly. We have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all. Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. It doesn't look like it's been dropped, more like it was put there deliberately. Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What? A leak? No, she was probably feeding whatever she brought on board with her. Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? I can't believe his boyfriend died of a fart. That is not what he died of.
You know who else is trying to persuade themselves?
Are you gonna say my mom?
My mom!
Go away. It would seem this teapot is empty.
Who else is empty?
Don't you say my mom. Hi, JT. Don't you dare say my mom. Not allowed to bring nut. I mean, there's nothing on the ship's rules that we can't bring a nut, but we can't bring any animals.
I mean,
What?
Jack and Rose definitely brought a nut on the ship.
Oh my god! Go. I'm just thinking of that TikTok that's constantly in my head. You did it. You know, I guess the door could see two people, huh, Rose? That's absurd, Jack. Hi, Yang. How are you? It wasn't the badge. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people.
Oh.
Stop! This is a charity stream! Or because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet? I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I lay 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san? The culprit is not Maya's mom. All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad that happens on the ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Well, I mean, this isn't a crime scene, so I guess go ahead. Okay, oh, my eyes itchy. I'm glad you're doing good, Yang. Oh my gosh. Just double checking everything I have here. Can we go through here?
Water and water and water, water.
We are on a boat. There is water. Hello, Herb. How are you? This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the boat's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside. Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it? No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside. And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door either. I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. I mean, I do too, but that doesn't make me a criminal. Thank you, Yang. I'm sorry about the ads, Herb. Oh gosh. Am I missing any? Do I have to look at this again? They're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Burya's rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean. I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. It's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine. I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard. Oh, yeah, so do I. There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else by the looks of it. No books about salami. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Are any of them Wings of Fire? Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading. Books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. Okay, anything else that we have not looked at? I feel like that was everything in here. Oh, hold on, one thing. There's one of these next to the bed in Cosmo's cabin, too. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist. She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug, too. Aren't we letting people know we're in here? No, it didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. I feel like she forgot. Alright, I think that's everything in here. I literally don't see anything else. Because we don't know what kind of... We know it's an animal, but we don't know what kind of animal it is. I don't think there's anything else. Let me double check. I may not be done with that room. Okay, nothing else. So maybe I'm not done with that room. Oh, okay. This is everything we have so far. Can't look at that. That's not important. Huh. I want to make sure that we took a thorough look around here because I feel like I'm missing something. Those are not important. Huh. I just feel like there's a little hint of Maya coming out when, like, during interactions like that, like with the bell cord, because that's a very Maya thing to do. And honestly, I love it, because I do miss that a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like we looked, maybe it's the other places I'm missing something. I'm gonna head back to the passageway. Oh, Sholmes, what's up? Okay, that makes sense. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes. Look. Wow, you never knew where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Aye, go. Aye,
More passion.
More
More
passion.
passion.
More passion. More
That's
energy.
exactly what
More
he's
energy.
singing.
More footwork. More footwork. More footwork. More
He's
passion.
still
More
singing.
energy.
Do you think he hadn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky Herlock was about. Excuse me? I solved it all and I stood tall. I did the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! God, he's ready. He's ready to fight. He's ready to throw hands. I did not realize how easily jumpy he gets. Oh my gosh. What is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now was as good as time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? Oh, that was the best animation so far. I loved it. That just gave me, like, the best chuckle ever. Mr. Sholmes? You seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here. Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. He writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report? Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet... the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night, which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribbling nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand why my way is... what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes brilliance. Oh, well, that was... I thought that was the game. I'm not gonna... There was a donation... Oh, I gotta read the... Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought that was the game. Hold on, I gotta... Hold on, going to the link. I'm so sorry. Should have had that up beforehand. I am a bad streamer. Hold on. Hold on, go into the thing. Go into the thing. Waiting for the thing to load. Going to the thing. Whoops, my hand slip. Yang! That's not a hand slip. Yang, thank you so much for that $15 donation to Make-A-Wish. Your hand doesn't slip, though. Ah, yes, as the famous detective's hand slips do. Yes, that. Oh my gosh. Oh, ouch. Does your hand slip like Sholmes was about to as he was about to punch us? Oh. Oh gosh. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I actually didn't know that I was like, maybe it's a PayPal issue, maybe it's a Tiltify issue. I don't know, but I'm glad to know that Google Pay works. Thank you, though. You didn't have to. Thank you. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. You too? Nothing more. Hey, Rob, how are you? Well, my friends, until our next encounter... Sholmes away! He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passage. What do you think he's singing, Celine Dion? Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing. You too? Is there something in the water of the ship? Something's really weird. That's not a coincidence. I guess we moved to a different... Take ye old Tylenol. What do you even call ye old Tylenol? Isn't it just Tylenol? Is there anything else? Do I go back to Miss Pavlova's room? Oh gosh, I'm crying. Oh, there we go. What's that? Iceberg! Right, Daddy! Right ahead! I'm so sorry. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile 4. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands, brace for impact. I was joking. What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I don't like the way the ship is tilting. Hold on to me. Wait, are there lifeboats on this ship? Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... Yeah, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. That sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Look at that! The door's bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the and they're in the exact same placement as before. They're just like they were before. That can't be a coincidence. Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I'd better tidy this place up first. I mean, is that really important? I'm concerned that there's like a giant hole in the ship right now or something. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around, tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh no, why? oh gosh, Yang, yes, of course, enjoy Ratchet and Clank. I still need to play a Ratchet and Clank game. I've had a lot of people tell me I need to play one just because I like Spyro so much. Enjoy! I hope you have a good time with the lurks. Oh my gosh, you're so lucky, I'm jelly you have a PS5. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Okay, what is it? Okay, she's fine. You! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? You both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. How did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming, crew are running everywhere. This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black, you are the devil! Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector. Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. No, we did not do. You don't know. He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man? That is an assumption and a half. Da, and he is a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? I'm not a fox? Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Are they actually tossing me in the brig? Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Yeah, correct. I am a wolf. Absolutely. And wolves do not eat chickens. Please, Inspector Hosanaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. If it's not their natural prey that they hunt in the wild. I opened up a YouTube video to see how far into the case you are, and the most replayed section is Shom's trying to punch Ryanosuke. I love it though. That was some fluid almost fisticuffing. Not quite fisticuffing, but almost fisticuffing. What do I do? You've got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. I don't really have anybody. What is he doing? Sir? This is not the monkey bars at the playground? I'm not even sure that should be holding all that weight. What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes? Why are you wearing the tiara? I mean, he is a queen, but why are you wearing the tiara? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? How is nobody else reacting to this? They're all just standing there blaming me, but nobody's taking a glance to the left. There isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally, I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited look on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. What are you gonna punch the ship? I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. You again? The great detective? Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak. An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this vessel, the steamship Buria. has been solved by me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. I don't believe it. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. He's so good at hide and seek, man. Ha, you have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. Okay, y'all put that on me. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Da, locked room, that is point. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other circuit entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gaps open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The vent. Of course it's the vent. The ventilator, man. The ventilator? You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! What the? It's a snake! Oh no! Oh no, sir, I don't know if anyone has told you this. I'm not sure if you're highly aware of this, but there appears to be a danger noodle wrapped around your skull. Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The speckled band makes sense. A snake? Indubitably. I didn't expect her to have a snake. I'm sorry. Does she do like a Britney Spears performance with that snake? When as a ballerina, I wasn't expecting snake. Deku has too much anxiety to do it. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? It's just the way he sticks. Such a good noodle. Look at the way he sticks out his tongue, like. I can't do it. Can I pet it? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the Striped Band, wouldn't you? That's just a band name. You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? She's a snake eater. Oh my gosh, I need Toe to sing that right now. I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. Is it a venomous snake? No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osoki, but didn't we say that he was hit with a blunt object? Like, a snake, the only way I can see a snake is either it's gonna constrict you in your sleep, or it's gonna bite you, and you have to assume that it's venomous. Like, those two are very different compared to a blunt force trauma. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I don't think the snake did it. It looks like a good noodle. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. But also I'd be cranky too if you threw me into a, snakes obviously don't belong in suitcases. But also she was trying to flee a bad situation and she didn't want to leave her snake behind, but it's like you also shouldn't have thrown the snake in the suitcase. I would also be pretty angry if I were a snake. Oh, the whole situation's so messy. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? As I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's somebody's cranky. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are... Is that snakeskin? Yeah, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No. I don't know what you are talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Kinda was expecting the snake to be from Australia. Australia has so many danger noodles. It's not just danger noodles. Australia scares me in general. And spiders. And I like spiders. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. And kangaroos, man. I ain't tossling with a kangaroo. How did this young man lose his life? And why? According to the data of which I have appraised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom, but we said it was a blunt let him dream. I know, I'm about to shatter this man's dreams. I feel so bad. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. He's not terrifying, he's kinda cute. This makes no sense. There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. No, kangaroos are precious. Are kangaroos in danger? I forget if kangaroos are in danger, but no, we love kangaroos. Just don't ever tossle with one, you are going to lose. But otherwise, we adore kangaroos. You keep their babies in a little pouch. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. I watched too much Urban Rescue Ranch. I love kangaroos. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. I remember baby kangaroo. Okay, but they're still precious animals that need to be protected, and they carry their babies. The babies! I'm sorry, I really love joeys. They're just so adorable. You don't? It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. I thought that was something else. You couldn't know it if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. I got a sip. Oh my goodness. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Make a kangaroo watch Kangaroo Jack. Listen, I'm not defending Kangaroo Jack. It's not a good movie. But I laughed at that movie as a ton as a child. It gave me such joy as a little Okami. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training? It's not true. She's not a parcel mouth. She's not going to tell the snake to go through the vent, go bite Kazuma, and come back. It doesn't work like that. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor man's life. Listen, it makes sense that people lost a war to birds. Birds are technically dinosaurs. You are going to lose to dinosaurs. It is just logic. That is just the logical thinking. Has anyone won against Godzilla? Once? Yeah, okay, maybe once. But other times? No. We're talking about the Great Bird War.
The Emu War?
Yes.
They didn't lose because they're dinosaurs. They lost because they continuously fired at the birds and wasted all their ammo.
Why are we talking?
Because they didn't realize the birds' bodies are smaller than the feathers.
Look,
They literally, the only reason...
I'm siding with birds.
Shush!
No, I legally have to side with birds. I work for birdism. I have to side with birds.
The only fucking reason they lost...
Charity stream!
They lost? The only reason, okay?
Okay.
Is because they ran out of bullets.
Yes, you explained this already.
They ran out... Do you know how much ammo you have to waste?
You know, not gonna lie, the first time I heard of this, I thought it was all fake.
No! Do you know how much ammo you have to waste
Good.
to lose a war
Good.
against birds?
Good. The birds deserve to win. Wipe out humanity. Start all over.
Actually, they were killing them because they were like killing other animals and stuff too.
Okay,
They were like killing cats.
See,
and
I didn't
attacking-
know the reason.
Yeah, they were
I know nothing
They were like
about
killing other animals and like koalas and stuff,
this. Oh
and
no,
then
not koalas!
attacking children and
Koalas
whatnot.
just sleep in trees.
No,
and eat.
they're also very.
I know they're very aggressive if you try to pick one up, but like
No,
otherwise.
they also drop out of trees, and if they land on you, they'll just start fucking like attacking your
Oh,
face.
I know they will. That's why Australia scares me, but they're adorable.
There's a reason why they. There's a reason why they're nicknamed drop bears.
I'm alive now. Oh, good, Sarah. I'm glad you're alive. There can be
Also,
no
they're
doubt.
dumb. They're dumb as all hell.
Koalas?
Yes. The eucalyptus they eat,
Yeah.
they only actually get about 2% of the nutrients out of.
You know, I just remember that one episode
They
of
sit
Wild
there-
Thornberries where
they
they were
sit there-
trying to smuggle the koalas and I was screaming.
They sit there and they eat the eucalyptus. It's the same thing with pandas.
Yeah.
Pandas are also stupid.
Leave pandas
Koalas-
alone. We're not going to have pandas in the U.S. anymore soon.
Koalas and pandas are stupid in the fact that what they eat...
Apologize to the
what they
pandas. Pandas do nothing
what
wrong.
they primarily eat...
Are they
is
dumb
not
or have
only-
they simply evolved into this evolutionary niche? I want to say they evolved.
No, they are dumb.
No.
Because also...
You apologize. Apologize to me.
They legitimately also have smooth brains. They do have smooth brains. That is scientifically proven.
I'm upset because you know we're losing.
So, really quick... Also...
Look, you're...
Also...
Ow, my nose.
Also, eucalyptus is technically toxic to koalas. It is like, if any other animal eats it, they will get sick from it. But...
Okay, but apologize to the pandas.
No, because pandas are also stupid.
But we're not going to be able to see them anymore soon.
They literally... Okay, no. Here's the thing.
They have to send all the pandas back to China. Unless
Yes,
they come up with an agreement, and I'm very sad because I just want to love pandas.
Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Pandas literally are carnivores.
Well, they're bears.
They are literally...
They're bears.
They're bears. They're carnivores. And they said, nah, I'm gonna eat this plant.
They like it. What's wrong with you?
They
Apologize
also-
to Poe.
They also...
Apologize to Jack Black.
I am gonna stab you if you don't stop interrupting me. They also legitimately will sit there and eat their weight in bamboo all day.
Healthy.
And then they don't know how to have sex. Right?
Charity stream,
I didn't say the bad word.
but we're not bringing that up.
But they don't know how.
This is a charity stream.
They don't
This
know
is not time
how.
for National Geographic to come
Here
in.
is the thing. We are literally
Oh my God.
losing the pandas. Not because they're being hunted, not because they are like getting killed by something that is like stronger than them.
Isn't it that we're
Not
losing
because-
bamboo forests?
No, because they won't do it. They won't. No matter what.
Look,
They will not.
they're Ace. What do you want from them? You can't blame them.
Pandas don't want to survive. They refuse to reproduce. Legitimately.
But they make such cute babies.
Yes, like once in a blue moon. Because they don't want to reproduce. They don't eat the things they're supposed to. They don't reproduce. What is their purpose?
This one is about to turn red in the face and just making the most extreme motions right now. Y'all can't see.
They weren't made to eat bamboo.
Oh my
We are
god.
yes, thank you. They are not made to survive. They literally have a mating season that is 2 days. 2 days out of a year. And we can't get them to do it. They are legitimately showing pandas videos of other pandas doing it in hopes, in the slightest hopes, that they will actually do it.
Look, I too do not eat things I'm supposed to or reproduce. Same though.
Like, that's the thing. They legitimately.
It's me when I get McDonald's. I'm not supposed to eat this.
I am not joking when I say there are zoos that sit there with TVs for the pandas that show other pandas.
I don't want to know.
That show other pandas reproducing
What a dra-
because they are raging. They are
Stop.
hopiuming.
Stop.
They are coping.
Wait. I keep seeing people say that pandas are a worthless species and that they're wasting time, resources trying to preserve them just because they're cute and we should just let them go extinct. Is this true? No, because the World Wildlife Fund's icon is a panda.
Read it.
Well, here's the thing. There's no such thing as a worthless species to begin with. Thank you. Because worth is not defined by usefulness to one specific species of uppity bipedal primates. And also, thank you. Finding one really charismatic species and getting people to care about it enough to protect it is great, actually. Because protecting pandas, yes, thank you, also means protecting literally every other living creature in this ecosystem. And there is lots of those. Thank you! Thus, pandas act as a huge, furry, and adorable umbrella to every other animal that
I'm
shares
not-
their habitat, shielding them from the terrible metaphorical
I am not-
rainstorm of habitat
Here's the
loss
thing.
and human encroachment through
Here
the
is
power
the-
being just really
Here's
cute.
the thing. If you will let me talk for 5 seconds
Wait,
before
I'm
I
not
kick
done
you-
reading!
Before I kick you in the jaw.
I'm not done
I've
reading!
already been screamed at for like an hour today.
Well, let me finish reading.
So-
Every environment on Earth needs a panda umbrella species if we want to protect it in the age of extinction. What will it be for yours? Okay, honestly, I think the problems people have with pandas comes down mostly to phrasing and semantics. What I mean by this is people have run into the flippant and funny, this animal is literally too stupid to breed, and they basically have to be coerced. Instead of the more nuanced, this animal has adapted to a very specific environment that isn't easily replicated in a concrete building and doesn't easily breed in a captivity, which is the thing. Or they go with, haha, pandas are so dumb, they have to be shown how to mate. It's like they don't even care.
You guys don't even know how angry I am.
Well, obviously,
Today
we're
was
missing
really
large
bad.
pieces of how pandas' social structures are supposed to work, and more research is needed. Having
Today
a
was
very
the
strict
kind of day that
diet.
made me think I wanted to quit my job.
Oh, hon,
Straight
well,
up,
you didn't
like
tell
walk
me
out,
any of this.
walk out, like throw my keys at my boss and leave.
Needing
So.
a certain amount of range and territory and having very specific parameters for breeding is very common across a lot of different animals. Passenger pigeons went extinct partially because they wouldn't brood if they didn't feel secure in a large group. And God, rip the passenger pigeon. They've done so much for us. Devil's Hole pupfish spawn where there's a seismic event that triggers it. I've seen those. Salmon have thrown themselves bodily upriver to breed in a specific spot and will kill themselves doing so. There we go. Yep, there's a whole Pokemon evolution about that. There are species of millipede that die in captivity because they only eat decaying wood from specific plants and nobody is sure what those plants even are yet. There are countless animals whose breeding activities range from oddly specific all the way to actively relatively fatal. The fact that a panda doesn't easily make babies like a domestic sheep in a captive setting doesn't make them stupid or useless or even really that much
But
of an outlier.
It's not. It goes beyond that. It goes completely beyond that, though, because it's not just in captivity that they won't do it. They will not do it in China either.
Well,
They won't
how do we
do
know?
it.
It's because there's environmental changes going on that aren't playing a part in
Okay,
it.
it doesn't change that we are spending literally almost billions trying to keep them alive, and they will not do anything to try and keep themselves alive, and we're running out of pandas that can easily do this.
Well, at the very least, we should be throwing money into programs that stop human encroachment, because that does need to stop. Like, specifically, because the more habitat we take, the more animals are going to come into human...
the thing is that I agree to a point, because the whole reason pandas moved to eating bamboo rather than meat is because of humans. They were forced up into the mountains. I'm not going to disagree with that point. We are part of the reason that they should be extinct. It does not change that they should be an extinct species because of the fact we cannot get them to either change their diet or actually breed. They will not.
It's just so hard. Keep in mind, if it's hard to do in the wild, it's going to be even harder to do in captivity. Because you can't replicate everything in captivity, unfortunately.
And the whole reason that we actually feel anything for pandas is the same reason we feel anything for cats. It's that big eye syndrome. I'm not joking.
Like when Gizmo gives you them big eyes.
I'm not joking when I say the whole, like, black, the panda face, the big, you know how they have little eyes, but around their eyes they have those big black spots? That is them basically creating something that humans will like. They have figured out that if they are liked by humans, they're going to survive.
Well, the whole thing, again, it just comes down to human encroachment. We need to, like, knock it off. We already have enough. We don't need to take more.
It's too late.
I know, it's already, but we need to stop it from, we need to stop, like,
there's no
doing
stopping it, is the thing. There is no stopping it, because you're saying that, but there's always going to be that one guy who goes into the woods and kills 20 deer just for fun.
Oh, I know, and those are the type of people that I want to smack upside the head, because you don't do that for fun. That's just called being Gaston and being a bully. Oh my gosh, anyway, pandas. It looks like they made the switch to eating bamboo between 2.4 and 2 million years ago, which that's a long time. In evolution speak, I think that's a long time.
It doesn't change that it was humans that caused it.
No, it was humans that definitely caused it.
It was ancient humans that made their way into the area that forced pandas to move.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to want to be near human society.
Well, no, they were getting killed.
Yeah.
Because they were attacking people. They used to be
That's
one of
like the whole thing when people complain about wolves going after their livestock, and I'm like, well, you're taking their land.
That's the thing that people don't realize, too, is that pandas are legitimately the size of polar bears. If they were more aggressive, they'd be more dangerous than polar bears.
See, I already did good. I did good. I got my lion bracelet. I got my free elephant tracker, so I've been watching Edison every day now for the past 2-3 days.
I mean, I don't disagree with Shad, is the thing. And it's like, the thing is, too, is it's similar with koalas, but at least koalas, I guess, can survive in the wild. It's just, they eat eucalyptus, which is literally, like, here's the thing. Years ago, koalas used to be, like, just like us, and they'd get poisoned by eucalyptus. They were just literally too stupid to die, and they were like, I'ma keep eating this. This is some good stuff.
Look, everything I love
they get high
personally
from it.
is dangerous.
Like, they stopped being poisoned by it, and now they just get high from it.
Oh my gosh.
They eat eucalyptus and get high.
That doesn't sound like a bad
and they
choice.
also
I'm
have,
not going to tell
they
them
also
it's
have
bad.
like 0 predators. Like,
I mean, that helps a lot.
They have, like, it's the same reason that they have the kumquats, I think is what they're called. The little dudes.
I have no idea what that is.
The little dudes that are on the island that will literally walk up to humans because they have no natural predators and are not afraid of anything.
Aren't they like little monkeys?
No, they're little, like, rodent guys.
Okay, I have no idea. They're not capybaras.
And they're always smiling.
I'm going to tell you right now, peak evolution, I mean, capybara, we can't
Capybaras literally do have natural predators, though.
Yeah, no, they do. I mean, just because they're the biggest rodent doesn't mean they're big enough. Okay, anyway. Man. I love animals. Human encroachment sucks. Save the elephants because I just got my elephant bracelet.
Oh yeah,
Ivory poaching. Ivory poaching is evil.
Koalas have no nutritional value because they subsist entirely on a poisonous plant, so they're not worth it to predators. Also, if they are eaten too soon, like, they will just die. Do save the elephants, though.
Yes, please save the elephants, because that's all human encroachment and illegal poaching.
Save the lions,
And
save the tigers, save the...
Lions are in a lot of trouble, people don't realize it.
Save the lions, save the tigers, save the elephants. I like pandas, but also... Man, they gotta do some of the lifting. We should not have to show them educational videos on how to do it.
I don't want... Stop! This is still a charity stream.
It should not have to take a how-to basic video.
Man, this would be funny if this were a World Wildlife Fund stream, let me tell you. This would be highly appropriate for this conversation. Let them be ace.
As
Thank
someone
you.
who's ace... If humans were dying out, I'd be like, well, at least I gotta try. You know, I don't want to. It's a lot of work, and I'm not thinking it's really worth it. But I gotta try.
Man, this is getting oddly personal. That's all I'm saying.
Like, that's all I'm saying. Is like, yeah, I'd go, I could give it a try.
Anyway, I need to keep complaining. Poor Shoves has been standing here just listening to this whole bandit.
He stole his entire shtick from somebody else. He can go away.
Listen,
He stole his entire shtick from somebody else.
Okay, but he's very entertaining. And I'm trying to defend a snake here, so you should be happy. I'm telling you, the snake didn't do it.
Also, I don't know how koalas have no natural predators. When my friend from Australia literally sent me a picture of a spider on his wall the other night.
Oh, dear God.
And the dude was literally like this big.
I love spiders, just not from Australia.
Did I show you the picture?
No, but I want to see it.
Oh my God.
Thus concludes Herlock shows his great deduction of the speckled band.
Where's B? There's B.
Not on stream. I just personally, like, I'm right here. I want to see it. Y'all aren't gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. Even the snake's confused. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine.
Look at that fucker.
Oh my God!
Look how big he is.
Holy, he's furry. Can I zoom in on this thing? Look at that face! Holy moly! I've never seen a spider that big in my life.
That is a huntsman. That is a huntsman spider.
Is that a venomous spider?
Oh, extremely.
Oh, okay, that's not good. Oh. Thank you for the content warning. I'm fine with it. Damn! That is a size difference.
But yeah, no.
It's so furry.
Look up the huntsman spider in Australia if anyone's curious as to what I got sent.
When are those going to show up on an episode of Bluey?
It was just literally on his wall, and he was like, "Yeah, we put it back out in the garden." And I'm like, "What do you mean?
How did you do it?
I'd be burning the house down.
I need a cup bigger than what I'm used to." No, see, burning the house down is that one video where a snake came out of somebody's ceiling. That's me burning down the house. I'm like, nope, that house is yours. I'm moving. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise
I have
of
crippling arachnophobia as well. So the problem was
you
that
like snakes.
Arachnophobia.
Oh, right. You didn't say snake phobia. You said arachnophobia.
Like, he sent me that picture of a spider, and I just felt my skin crawling. And I'm like, why would you send me this? He's like, why? And I'm like, I have arachnophobia. And he was like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, what? You should ask before you send it.
But we have a spider plush made by Racy.
And I can deal with a spider plushie. I can't deal with one that's like this big on the side of my wall, just like going, what's up?
I'm like, hi, buddy. Did you eat any mosquitoes today?
And if they bite you, you do have to go to the hospital because their bite is at least venomous enough to cause neurological damage.
Oh, that's fun. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing.
That's actually amazing.
Your great deduction really lives up to its name.
That's really cool, Rob, actually.
Oh, yeah, no.
I want to see this.
Did you not? That was the picture from before. Oh, the second one. I see it now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable, as the Russians say. I could have done it with one left hand.
Huh.
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
That's like really cool.
But of course, what's on your mind?
That's like really cool. Like, I hate spiders, but that's really cool.
Well, I feel the same way about snakes. Like, I don't want to be near one, but I'm like,
You
y'all are
haven't met the right
pretty,
snake.
y'all are pretty cool.
They're cool. They're big babies.
I know, but I get afraid. It's just, about your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madame. And reptiles, don't drink milk. That's a mammalian thing. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yep, it's all temperature. Yeah, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal a snake by whistling. But madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears! These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless! We are not going back to that conversation. They are not useless! Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you, Ryanosuke. There is one other thing. You have more. Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. It just really likes Stroganoff. Oh my gosh, he's so defeated. I'm just saying, snakes survived snakes survived during the Cretaceous extinction event. I'm just saying, I don't know if I would call that useless, man. I call that pretty hecking impressive, along with turtles and sharks, man. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean. Yes, we need to we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. I don't know why I jumped. Oh, Shad, thank you so much for the Prime sub in the 15 months. Thank you. So cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Oh, they're gone. You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, we gotta hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. You're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova. Not her aching heart, something else is aching? Oh, right there. Haha.
Yes!
Hi, chicken. How are you? Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the fiend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? As I suspected, another telltale glance. What is she looking at? Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by his friend of hers, doesn't it? Except... snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. I know, I'm trying to clear this poor noodle's name. It's a cat. Oh, it's a cat! Look!
Yes!
You were looking over at this framed photographic print, weren't you, Miss Pavlova? Let's not get distracted by the print itself. Oh no. It's the frame that is your friend, isn't it? Because it so beautifully displays whatever you put inside it. What spectacular? No, I'm saying it's the cat in the picture. Oh, well, it's supposed to be logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your... I'm saying it's a cat! Okay, hold on. Go, go, go. I can't believe I was wrong. Yes. Sholmes, look, Sholmes has his moments, and they're pretty good what he does. But how do I present the cat then?
Yes!
No, that's not what I meant to do. That was actually, I didn't mean to hit it that time. I was trying to do something. I was trying to examine. Oh no, why'd I do that? Curse my buttery fingers. Now my hand slipped. Because I was gonna say, that's all we have, right? Hold on. Why can I not... There we go. Are my Joy-Cons okay? I think my Joy-Con disconnected. Look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. Ah, Mice! Hi, friend! Thank you so much for the raid! How was stream tonight? Welcome, raiders! Welcome! Hello, everybody! If you don't know me, my name's Okami. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch, and we are on Case 2 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and we are also racing for the Make-A-Wish Foundation in preparation for Mini Kit Marathon this weekend. So if you are interested at all in checking the charity out or the schedule for Mini Kit, we'll be playing a bunch of Lego games this weekend for the kids. Feel free to check that out. Oh, what were you making tonight on stream? How was? But guys, make sure you are following Mice. Make sure. Also quality VTuber content. Also Mushroom. Mushroom's so good. I'm so distracted by this cat right now. Look at that face. It's just like a Luna. Oh my gosh, this baby. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. The baby! Look at this little cat Miss Pavlova's cuddling here. What a cute little kitten! It could vibe with you, couldn't it, Naruhodo-san? For the blackest outfit. A black kitten. And from the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. Presenting the kitten.
Yes!
Oh, a jacket commission! Oh, nice! I would love to see it! That sounds so amazing! Without a doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. As somebody with a bunch of cat scratches on my thighs at all times, yup, that checks out. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Daka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary. Oh, yeah, the snakeskin behind her back. Is that really snakeskin? Oh, no worry, Mice. Don't worry. I totally understand. Thank you so much for the raid, Joe, and trusting me with your community. I appreciate it, friend. I hope you have a very good, much-needed sleep, and I hope your day tomorrow's good to you, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she'd just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case, is it a cat toy? In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? It's gotta be a cat toy, right? Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort, and that looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. That sounds positively adorable.
Yes!
Oh, she's also got something else sticking out of her pocket, I just noticed. Yes, the thing you're trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of a cat by the name of Darka. Yeah, but it's not like the cat had anything to do with this, so... A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared. Through the ventilator. That sounds like a cat. Darka, she is so naughty. She's a cat. They like high places. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. But don't we have proof it was blunt force? What Mr. Shom says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body. That's right. But Mr. Shom seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now. Oh, hold on. I got... Blech. I needed a sip. Okay, where is it? There it is. I went right past it.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah yes, I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebra is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. He's not... Oh my gosh, he's not in the hit TV Disney Channel show Gargoyles. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. He's just really fit. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be... Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. That's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly? It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yeah, a bad fall could explain it. It's It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Ah, it's not the pen! Oh my god. What do I have? The paper seal, the crime scene photograph, article about the revolutionary, Kazuma's diary, article, postmortem, mark on the floor, maybe? Ship's log. What does the mark on the floor look like again? Was that the bell that was on the cat I'm just noticing? I'm just thinking. I just trip and fall. No, honestly, that'd probably be me. But I trip going up the stairs, not down. Luna! Speaking of kitties. Luna! Hold on one second. I'm trying to get her over here. I have a feeling I know what happened as a cat owner. I have a feeling I know what happened. He tripped over the cat, right? I'm calling it now. As somebody whose cats always walk in front of her, I have a feeling this is what did it. And now I'm honestly terrified. If this is honestly the case, I am officially now terrified to walk behind my cats for the rest of my life. I am going to assume it's going to prove it. He fell over the cat. I'm thinking.
Yes!
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results, the undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Osogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Osogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebra shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. That is just so... But it's nobody's fault. Like the cat knew any better. He had an accident. She didn't... The cat wasn't supposed to be in there, but it's a cat on... You know, it's a cat that's gonna crawl into place. It's not supposed to... This is all just so super unfortunate, and it hurts me that it happened to Kazuma, but... I don't even... Nobody's at fault here, clearly. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Osogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But... And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. It's not the pin! Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, how much can I only go left to right here? I was just curious. Oh my goodness gracious. This is just... I'm sorry, this is just a really bad turn of events. Okay, I needed a sip. This is just so sad. Honestly. Ah, somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here. It hasn't been dropped, Naruhodo-san. It's been placed. I'm starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes. Stop trying to sound like the great detective. Why not? I didn't know if there was anything else here out of curiosity. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about the waste paper basket. This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them. But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. It was on the cat. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. And it can be yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Oh my gosh. Kay Faraday's not even been born yet. Do I present, like, the wastebasket itself?
Yes!
That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Osogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell. That would be where's the picture.
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka. I can't believe he died from a trip, though. Like, of all the things. That's just, like, something you honestly, like, hear about in, like, I don't know, like a weird death iceberg or something like that. It's not something you really expect, though. Oh my gosh. Kay Faraday is more. What does Kay have to do with any of this? I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. The cat is a baby. You can't blame the cat. This just... Man, I refuse to walk in front of my cats anymore. I'm gonna keep thinking about this case for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be like, hey now, Miss Luna, don't walk in front of me. Don't want to end up like Kazuma. It's like something you hear in a video game, right? Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last. You're right. I actually do have a new phobia on top of my 50 other phobias. Just gonna throw that right under hypochondria and aerophobia. Check mark. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments. They do. Have you seen Deku? She was so fast. She disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. Yes. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed to bring Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again by dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin. Daka always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... Oh God! Now the poor cat's probably traumatized. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and see, if that were my cat, I literally would have a heart attack. It was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass spell and tripping. The SS Buria is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darko's nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case, and now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is insufferably restless as I am. I don't know, Holmes, do you really want to bet on it? I think you might actually beat this cat. Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. It's not your fault. It's not Darka's fault. It's not your fault. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? Everyone get off the floor. If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it? And where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board the ship? Oh my gosh, he's made friends with... Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Pino Joko? I don't know if I said that right or not. What? What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Huh. We are at sea for 1 year. You want me to be so long without close friend? Without someone who understands? I totally get that. Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake? Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in if that crawls into somebody's cabin and just, you know, crawls into bed with them. That's the end of that. No venom. It can still constrict you, my dude. Pirojoko does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is adorable like Granny. My Granny, what big fangs you have. It's venomless? Yes, now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ah, like they say they milk chickens. Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pirojoko eats mouses. Big fat round mouses. Oh, so is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. I feel like Sholmes is broken. It refuses to drink milk, it can't hear a whistle, it can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? Is not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pirojoko has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. Okay, best friend and, you know, air quotes, you know, once again. Miss Pavlova? I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize, but please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed to everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events. An accident. I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? It's not? To be perfectly honest, yeah. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. And they're back. Wait, why am I in handcuffs? Didn't we just say it that I'm innocent? Okay. Not again. When did he do that? Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. There you go. Was he not? Yes. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owe him my freedom, even. It's alright, you can tell him, Ryunosuke. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. Fun fact, Stroganoff named his snake after a Russian puff pastry. Wait! I want to know what kind of I want to look up the kind of puff. I'm so curious now. I've never heard of it, but it sounds delicious. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident, or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in this first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Hold it!
Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's what really happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. So that, wait, they're called Piroshki, which is one letter off the snake's name. Hold on, I'm looking this up. So hold on. So according to Wikipedia, they're Ukrainian baked or fried yeast, leavened boat-shaped buns with a variety of fillings, stuffed with meat, mushroom. Oh my god, that sounds so good. Rice and onion. Oh my god, I love all of that. Oh, that looks banger. That looks banger. I would love to try one of these. Like, especially, can I get extra mushroom in mine? That actually looks so good. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Or the puff pastry version. Oh, look at how flaky that bread looks. I don't think that would be it's Rob, it's okay, you're fine. You didn't mean for the link to be that long. That looks so good though. Like, look at how flaky that bread looks. Like it just falls apart, like it melts in your mouth almost. It looks so good. I would try that in a heartbeat personally, and I'm picky as heck. But I think I would honestly, like, eat that in a heartbeat, no questions asked, to be honest. That looks so good. Okay, so hold on. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. Well, I don't want to present the post-mortem report again, because I know it stated the blunt object. So we have the seal, the crime scene photograph. We still have the words he wrote out that we still don't know what it means. The article, I just noticed that. Kazuma's diary, the article. Again, I don't want to do the post-mortem again because I feel like I've already done it. I don't know, I've seen Monarch shoot the priest. Hi, Chaos. How are you? I'm thinking, honestly, it's the going back because we still don't know what he was trying to. I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna go for it and see what it is. The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. You're okay, Chaos. Also, quoting Wikipedia, common savory fillings include ground meat, mashed potato, mushrooms, boiled egg with scallions. Yes, I would just take out the cabbage. The only cabbage I like is like red cabbage. Like, that's the only kind of cabbage I like. Typical sweet fillings are fruit, apple, cherry, apricot, lemon. I would go apple and cherry all the way. Tvorog being a white cheese that looks similar to cream cheese. Ooh, but does it taste similar to cream cheese? There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebra resulting in instant death. Instant death? Ugh. Would a fall not be instant? Which means after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't oh, I see what Ryunosuke is saying. After the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So, Susato-san has noticed it too, then? Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives it what? Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. Where? Oh, it's in my oh, okay. Looks more like cottage cheese. Apparently it can be consumed fresh or sweet or brackish depending on the location. I mean, I'll eat cottage cheese, so I'm not against trying it, but I am more of a fan of I'm way more of a fan of like cream cheese, I will fully admit. Ghostwire Tokyo is free for Is it really? Hold on, hold the phone before I forget. You have me pulling it up right now. Are you serious? I've been wanting to play this forever. I do not see it under free games with Prime. Is it coming, JT, or is it now? Because now I'm like scrolling desperately and I'm totally freaking out. So there's another piece of evidence. I have no clue what it is. So paper seal. It can't be the crime scene photograph. The article. Okay, according to the last entry he made before he died, the speck on my inside. Don't think that's it. There was no traces of external injury or poison. If you wanted to play it, I know, but I don't. You know how if I'm playing, like if you share Steam libraries and the other person can't use it while you're playing it, and it's like I don't want to like lock you out of Steam. That's why I'm like I'm so sorry. Is the mark on the floor? Would it be the mark on the floor? That's the only other thing I can think of. Because with the article, no. The diary, no. Not the article. Not the post. I thought the post-mortem, but I said I don't want to present the post-mortem again. That is literally the only other thing that stands out to me that I can present here. So I'm going for it.
Yes!
It's not the pin! This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in the hall when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there's a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? She obviously had to have gone in the room, right? Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that waste paper basket? Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Was she trying to blame her cat then? That's low, if that's what she's doing. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi's.
Hold it!
You are wasting time. Someone else was there? Duh, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. And only other person in cabin when young student died was you.
Yes!
It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Thank you, hon. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying... Angelica voice, she's just a poor dumb kitty. Yes! The person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder, then, that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Seaman Stroganoff? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. So that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin? But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Do you mean your oath? Well, this is almost interesting.
Yo, bro, that's crazy.
And
what's crazy is how bad pandas are at being pandas.
would you leave the pandas alone? Why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You are a great detective. You should know. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? It's impossible. Ugh, he's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid?
Speaking of,
Yeah.
I did more research into pandas.
Alright, why? Could you do more research into Tokyo Ghost because it's not showing up on Games with Prime?
It is there.
I mean, oh look, I'll show you. I pulled it up after you said it. I'm just waiting for it to load now. This is what I have. Take the mouse.
It's literally.
I mean, I believe you, but I'm wondering if it didn't, if it just isn't up yet.
It very much is. I just looked at it.
Okay, hold on.
I just looked at it. It might not be through Prime.
Oh, no, but there it is.
It's through Epic Games.
Oh, that's why. Get game.
You have to.
Oh, I have to link. Oh, God.
Yes, but it is one of the. It's really good. I like it. It touches on a lot of like Japanese mythology.
I know, that's why I want to play it so bad. It's just annoying it's not coming up on the app. I know! These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern
Oh,
steamship.
here. Have food.
That's cat litter. That's
Thinks
not.
it's food.
He thinks everything is food.
I mean, he can eat it if he wants.
No, he can't. Constructed
Yummy,
a.
yummy clay.
No! What are you telling him? They're just really excited. Deku, there's nothing in there yet. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used.
Don't you
No.
guys want to eat some clay?
No, of course not. I thought so too. Deku. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... Susato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it on you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you, because we've seen it happen. Indeed, we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin bolt. Oh. Okay, no, wait, it's somewhere in here. Give fancy feast. It's not even fancy feast, I'm trying. They don't even eat fancy feast. Oh my gosh. Oh, they eat the Chewy brand. I don't know. Hecking. Yes, everyone is free to use the litter box, one at a time. Go, my children. Would you? Okay, hold on. Going over everything I know we can click in here. There's the vent. There's the cord. There's the wardrobe. I don't think there was anything in there. There's the actual door. There's the rules. There's the case. What is it? I can't go left and right, so this is all I can choose from. I accept the hint, Tylenos. This one's throwing me. Obviously not the wastebasket. So I have 1, 2, nothing in the case could have done it. Like the only, oh my god, do you remember a time where the door locked itself? What happened at that time? What else changed? Oh, I do. It was the bookcase. Thank you, Talano. That one, but I want to know what the explanation is. Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe. Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the object. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in the cabin. Oh, that explains it. The bolt on the cabin door. It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... That would explain. I didn't even think about the force of the ship moving or stopping suddenly. Oh yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. It's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. But oh no, wait, he's inept. Oh yeah, no, okay. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed? That's when it happened. That's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. That's super creepy. The SS Maria made another emergency stop? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like Mr. Nsogi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Boria made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency? On dark nights, when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone, hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. Is he allowed to do that? I feel like that's a big no-no. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. No. No, sir, that could have been, like, what if that button just, like, just hypothetically speaking, what if that button was used to, like... No, it wasn't a nut button, but hypothetically, what if that button was used to, like, I don't know, send out nuclear codes, I don't know, but like, do you think before you press? He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. No, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Ma'am, this is Wendy's. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop, or did it not? You are idiots. Boria is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence? The ship log? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. It's gonna be the ship log.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? Da, that is correct. Why? And the ship's log here, this would be where you record the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine! Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log? That is... duh, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, why would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Got him. Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Buria. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and then the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it had happened in the dead of night. I don't know. You never met me when I'm asleep. Well, no, that's a good point. What of the throbbing? Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah. Oh, yes, I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. He had the purple meat. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. And then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some sort of whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yeah, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? No. It can't be everyone on the... Why? Well, Seaman. I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Oh, right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I had it up. I completely forgot, Rob. Hold on. Hold the phone. I'm so thank you for reminding me. That was my dumb brain forgetting to go to the... Oh, gosh. Where the heck is videos? Properties, not media player. There we go. Hold on. I gotta fix this. I can do... There we go. That's okay. I'll take it like that. Hold on.
A jellied meatloaf
Right, I forgot to follow.
from 1931. We begin with a pound of ground beef. You don't want the sky beef. That would be scary. Who's mooing now? Strain it and let it
Not
cool.
the meat.
It's not dinner time until you add a pack of gelatin to some water. Onion and celery.
Ew, celery.
You know what stings more than a knife, Mr. Onion? Rejection. Now 2
It's
cups
true.
of chicken stock.
As
Time to
someone with
boil.
rejection sensitivity,
Strain the
it's
stock
true.
into the gelatin. No veggies allowed. Thank you for your service. Now that this is thick, we add in the beef, pimento,
With 2
and
Cs.
then we mix. This is revolting. No. What a joy. To the fridge. Good morning. Oh!
It just slaps like cat food. Oh my god.
Correct. It's a cat food recipe.
It looks like cat food. Oh my god. It literally looks like cat food. Don't tell me that doesn't look like pate cat food. Oh my god, what was that? That was terrible. Oh my gosh. That was absolutely terrible. That is cat food. Thank you. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over to the coals for aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything, her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Duh. We could not make all drug. How do you say dissolve? Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who disliked chicken, and... Oh, I would have been dead asleep. The newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know about any of this. I am just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the sane disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No, you must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. I mean, true, I don't eat chicken. I'm the person that eats ham on Thanksgiving, but true, anytime you eat a lot of food, just sleep coma. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said. Of these two sitters, I can't fancy. Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely, you are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Oh, we're looking all over. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, nothing up here, right? Oh, hey, look, they do have portholes. Okay, good. I know it seems really silly, but that was something that was kind of bothering me this whole time. I don't know why. This is a hecking good question. I'm not seeing anything new. Chunky arms. Oh, wait a minute! Woomy? Splatoon stain? What the heck? Oh, look at this! It's some kind of stain. In an unusual place. Yes, you're right. It looks like ink if I'm not mistaken. Ink. And look at the color too. It's clear where this came from. Is that the hit Nintendo Switch video game ARMS? Yes! The one game I still haven't played yet because I'm probably going to be like super bad at it because I'm so bad at fighting games. Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes, I don't know where that dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of this stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform, and I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Wait, is that the ink that Kazuma used to write out who did it? That's what I'm starting to think. So what, would I present this photograph?
Yes!
Yes, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink? Darn it. A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Just like my hair. Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. Not my VTuber hair, my actual hair. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink has been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way, which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. All right, yes, it was me. I did it. Everything. Throw him to the brig. You killed his husband. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like wardrobe man did it. Then I pressed button to make Burya do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I look inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor? Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers? Only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened door of student's cabin and looked, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Oh! Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I feel like she's not buying it. I understand, and... Oh no, okay. I thought for a minute she was downing her. I believe you. So, is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Something very nearly slipped my— oh, no. Yeah, I was gonna say, that seems too easy. Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten, on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well... if Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? Well, okay, if he snapped and broke his neck, we're talking, like, you know, aren't we just bringing up the fact that it would have been an instant death again? So... but we already brought up the fact that it would have been an instant death, and... is he holding something here? Because I was just looking at his, you know, I wanted to compare his hands. And I just noticed it looks like he's I don't know if he's actually clenching something in here. But, I don't know, should I find it odd that he's clenching his fist here? As opposed to him writing something here? I don't... because we already discussed this, so we're not going to be bringing this back up. And that's like the only thing that I'm noticing on this in general. I think I'm gonna go with it, to be honest. I've got a lot of tries if I'm wrong.
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. Because like when I fall, I don't make a fist, I try to brace myself. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes? Show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Why would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks... it looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes. Is she wearing crescent moon earrings? Yep, there it is. I was gonna say that looked very much like an earring. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. What's that? There's something attached to her ear. I expect that's what's called an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It's really tiny. It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. So I present the right ear?
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding it on must have broken, I suppose. What? But looking at your other ear, I notice a crescent moon. Ah. I don't believe it. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there was only one logical conclusion. Man, you know, for all his silliness and his antics, at times Sholmes really does notice things that I don't think anyone else would have noticed. I have to give him credit. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova? Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Did she, like, murder him? Did she actually murder him? I kind of was, like, more suspecting Stroganov than her, but I guess that'd be really obvious, maybe? Because you wouldn't think someone as young as her would, and running away from a bad well, she was running away from a bad situation, so I don't know how far she could be pushed. I mean, oh man, I don't know. I know nothing about criminal psychology, man. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship, and then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Darka, wait! Why do you mean it's silly she fed him pasta? You would think, though, if, like, I don't know, there'd be a substitute meal for people who didn't like chicken. Like, here's pasta for those of you who are, like, I don't know, anti-chicken. I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. If you, like, don't have a taste for chicken or you don't eat meat, here's just, like, the vegetarian option. Like, I don't know. But then again, this was, like, years ago, so maybe I'm thinking, like, way too modern right now. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Daka would not come back. Yes, you can have all the chicken in your pasta. I just want grated cheese in mine. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Daka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No. I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But, what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Oh no! He was talking about Ryunosuke! She thought he was gonna call someone on her. Oh my god, that was just her panicking. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted, and then... Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... Ooh! Oh, that sounded horrible. I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch help? From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Beef. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door? Yes. I went into cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and put back stained paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged a young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote, I'm not even going to try to pronounce whatever that is supposed to be in Russian, I will completely butcher it, so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass spell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Okay, oh god, okay, here's the thing. It is, yes, absolutely, Shad. This is such a bad situation. Okay. Nothing justifies the fact that she pushed him. She, however, was in nothing justifiable. I understand why it happened. Not just always have to say not justifiable at all. But in her moment of panic, not realizing that he was only going to confide in Ryunosuke, thinking she was gonna call like someone from the ship. She just that's just flight or fight right there. Because she just is trying to get away from such a bad situation that she cannot afford to go back to that situation. That's so frustrating. Because it's like, had she waited just a few seconds for like him to get Ryunosuke out of the wardrobe, this wouldn't have happened, but she didn't have time to think, obviously. Yeah, I don't think she was trying to kill. This is definitely more manslaughter than intention, like, than straight up, obviously, like predetermined homicide or something like that, or just homicide in general. It's not predetermined because it was spur of the moment, but couldn't be predetermined. But she didn't intend to kill him. It was between the fact that the cat jumped out of her hand, she called him, she pushed it. It was like a horrible domino effect that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, no, she's just a kid. Like, she is, what was she, 14, 15? She is just a child. Like, how can you honestly... It doesn't justify the fact that he died, but you can't necessarily push all this blame on her, because obviously she's feeling guilty. And obviously at this point she's just scared at this point, because I don't think she had, like you said, I don't think she meant to kill him. But at that point she had. And at that point, you're a child. I mean, on top of that, you're a child. You just unintentionally killed someone. You're panicking. Your cat was involved. You're worried you're going to be sent back to the situation you can't afford to go back to. This is just awful. Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, the SS Buria did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Cosima about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him? Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? Hi, Hermione hon. How are you? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, no. Oh, if he hadn't said that. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. She's a ballerina from Russia, Hermione, so that's why she's got like a really foreign name. Does she have a dog? No, but she has a cute little kitty. But unfortunately that kitty also just that kitty just had an accident that had very unintentional consequences. He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you for a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. No, it's what she assumed. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Cosima, so I can't know for certain, but... He was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. I'm actually tearing up a little. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is more education to make. More deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take at that moment? He was just going to confide in his husband. Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? Oh my god, I'm actually crying a little. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night, when Miss Pavlova visited Cosima-sama? Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. If there's one thing I've learnt today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Cosimo looking at? He was looking in our direction. The wardrobe? My wardrobe? I was in there at the time, of course, sleeping soundly. Too soundly. If only I hadn't eaten that chicken that was laced with the sleeping drug. If only he'd woken me up. This song is so good! It's making me more upset, though. And maybe this tragedy would never have happened.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Cosimo was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however... what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? Oh, Hermione, let me give you a shout. I'm so sorry. I'm crying. Like, one of my eyes are actually, like, my right eye is tearing up. I'm not even kidding. I'm so glad I don't have a camera on me because I actually have to keep wiping my right eye because I'm so upset at this whole situation. Oh my gosh. Fun fact, the standard Eastern Slavic naming custom is given name, patronymic family name. If Nicolina's father was named Anton, her full name would be Nicolina Antonovich Pavlova. Oh gosh, that is just so confusing. Just because I'm not used to it, it's so confusing to me. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend. I'm sorry, once again, everyone say it with me. Great friend. Make sure you're using those air quotes. Sleeping soundly. Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. Wow, you're saying you can't be friends with your spouse. No, you can! I mean, your spouse is, like, technically your best friend, too. It's just everyone keeps referring to them as friends, and I demand somebody refer to them as husbands. To see if between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. She was panicking. She's a child and she panicked. Things may have ended very differently if you had. I just don't want to shame her. Like, definitely let you know. I think she knows, obviously. At this point. I just feel so terrible. I know she can't fix it, but I don't want to, like, guilt her. Miss Pavlova? I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I don't think she can if she wanted to. I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. Like, my heart is breaking for her. It's breaking for Kazuma. I'm, like, literally crying. What have I done? And so at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. Alright, I think we're nearing the end of this case, obviously, so this will probably be last call for anyone. If anyone would love to do any last minute donations to Make-A-Wish before Mini Kit Marathon starts like tomorrow. Feel free. It's exclamation point charity. You do not have to at all, but feel free if you would like. Look, this is also a series where they channel ghosts, so that joke is hardly absurd. You know what? Yeah. Actually, Tylenose is absolutely right. Oh gosh. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. I hope they don't send her back. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to, repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Oh, thank God. Mr. Sholmes can do that? She won't be going back to Russia, then. No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. He's just a big teddy bear. But he's just really protective. But I don't think about you, about how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. Oh, hey, look, they're gone at least. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosima's death feels like such a waste, but... Well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange our passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. We were only going to Great Britain because of Cosima anyway. So you should get back to your cabin now. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even began, then. To think that only days ago Cosima and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Oh no, please don't cry, please don't cry. I just stopped crying, please don't do it. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector? My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain, but I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. Wait, what? wait. What those? Wait a minute. I did nothing. Do not. I just got done crying. Do not give me whiplash. Huh? What am I in trouble for now? Get these off me. Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo. What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decide to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. Where am I gonna go? I'm on a ship. He thinks this is funny? Sir, I find nothing humorous about this situation. Mr. Sholmes? We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. Wait a minute! It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be 1 lawyer and 1 assistant. Was to be. In light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. What can you not do, Sholmes? All you require is 1 lawyer, and the study tour can continue. Oh, are you gonna suggest moi? But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Miss Susato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. It's time for all-nighters, coffee, and cramming! Mr. Naruhodo? That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody can learn all of that in just 40 days? I only have 40 days to pass the bar exam. There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma, he said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit, too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato? Aww. I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. Hey, dummy. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? 1 lawyer and 1 assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector? After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector! If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Sogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. Because technically he's family too. He's just married into it. It's technically family. So then, Miss Susato, seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. Don't I get like a 30-minute break? You shall fill every spare moment with study. That's exactly what I need. Don't I get one day off during the week? But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. What? 3 times! Oh, it's to make up for before. What? I should never have doubted you. You are Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, stop, Rob. No, you were in shock. You were. Girl, you were in shock. You were going through grief. If I, I'm gonna say, if I didn't know who the heck Ryunosuke was, I would have suspected his butt. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away and the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. I don't want to throw you. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times. That number kept creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Neither have I. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, I've done classes on what to do if someone, comes up behind you. Like that I know how to do, but I don't know how to actually yeet someone over my shoulder. It isn't a skill one requires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am somewhat an accomplished boxer. No, stop. I don't want to see the two of them start breaking everything in here. There he goes, dancing around again. I feel like she could still take him on. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. How did we go from 3 to 5 to 9? Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Wait, is it because I said no? As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh, great, I'm just your training dummy? Okay, great. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you
Not
may
a
use
body,
however you
but I
like,
think I threw my
the
back
class
out.
trial will begin.
Help. Actually, no, that was a Susato squash. Oh my gosh, there's more than one technique? In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Stop. Oh god. Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generation of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. I agree, that was much more funny. Just because it came out of nowhere. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryanosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So, its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that she wouldn't need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. What is it? We keep alluding to it, and I want to know. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. He'd last a whole 0.0002 seconds against her. Yes, but it would be funny still. I would last less than that against her. And I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Yes, there's no place like London. There's a hole in the world in the great oh, no, sorry, I'm gonna stop the Sweeney Todd before I get DMCA'd. Oh, thank you. Crash course, I'll take it. Alrighty, y'all. I actually wasn't expecting us to get done with this case tonight, but, yeah. Case 2, done. Next time we come back to this, we were going to be on the start of case 3. I'm really happy I got to see this case done before Minikit. Otherwise, I would have been thinking about it way too much. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I am gonna call it here for because I still need a ton to do around here. I still need to pack. I still need to clean around here. I still got work stuff I need to take care of. I want to try to upload as much as I can before I'm into marathon mode. So, we will resume streams on Tuesday since the marathon runs from tomorrow until Monday. For those who are the schedule, I will grab the schedule really quick. Here is the Minikit Twitch channel. So for you guys who would love to catch up with the marathon, I will also post in in Discord when we start. Oh, well, hold on. When we start. Oh, well, hold on. So apparently the minikit channel's I got really confused. The minikit channel is actually showing my stream. That's why I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So there is the link to that. Go follow that channel. I didn't realize that was being hosted. GG, thank you. I know. Go follow the channel so you'll get the notifications every day that we're live, since not, you know, we actually sleep because, you know, we barely function without it. And yeah, we will be back on Tuesday. I will get a schedule up for that when I come home on Monday. But yeah, some shout outs, of course. Look at all these wonderful games. Be sure to catch them. I will be running Lego The Hobbit Monday at 12:15 p.m. Tylenos's run is Lego Dimensions is at 6:45 on Saturday. Everyone watch Dimensions, yes. And then JT's gonna also be live with Lego City Sunday at 10 a.m. And then JT will also be with me during the Hobbit run as well. So but we got so many other good runs coming your way too. Of course, Grant's going to be doing more Lego Star Wars. Duck's going to is going to open up with Lord of the Rings. We're going to open with Lord of the Rings and we're going to close with The Hobbit. So it all comes like full circle almost. We're going to have more Gartic Phone. So you know with me that's probably going to be chaos. Yes, and Duck is so looking forward to Bionicle. I've seen a little bit of it when we went to visit them back in August during Gen Con weekend, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to say anything, but y'all are in for a treat. The only GameCube game that ever crashed on me, I won't even I won't spoil the surprise. It looks good. And then of course all our Lego Rock Band shenanigans are on there too. Oh my goodness, so it's gonna be a good time. I hope you guys will be able to tune in and have a good time. Otherwise, if you can't, I will see you Tuesday. We will resume streams. Chances are Tuesday we'll probably come back with Xenoblade 3 because it's been a while since we've done New Game Plus of Xenoblade 3, and I feel like crying and talking about my ships and my hyperfixations, so we will probably be back on Tuesday with that. I know, I love you, Hermione. No, you gorgeous. I love you. But yeah, I'll be back that's probably what I'll be back with on Tuesday, and then from the rest of the week, we'll go from there. We'll go back to the Genshin 4.1 update, because we're still working on the story for that. We still got story quests to do too, and then whatever else. I forget everything else we're playing. Oh, right, the Dollhouse DLC for Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. I will be trying to plan that too for that coming week. So get ready for that, because then as soon as we're done with the Dollhouse DLC, Vasive was just a sweet bean and gave me a Steam code to the first Amnesia game. So we will also be doing the first Amnesia game at some point for Spooky Month, because I want to get as many spooky games as I can before I go away once again. So, I'm trying to cram those in. No, I don't mind one more video. I don't mind. We got time. It also gives me, I have to see who's live. I was going to check on my phone, but my phone is not here. So I can peek really quickly to see who is live right now. But yeah, I'm really excited, for this weekend, honestly. Hold on one sec. Oh, hold on, there's an ad. Hold the phone. Okay, hold on, I skipped it. Okay. I got it. It's a little squished, but I got it. Theater mode. It's a little squished. I apologize for that, otherwise I can't see. I can't go full screen because otherwise I can't see chat then. Because the switch is on the other monitor. So is this like still a thing out of curiosity? This is one guy? How? This looks like it takes multiple people if this is like a big world. See, I know Bionicle has like a really, like, I know there's a fan base for it. I just remember the commercials when they came out when I was little because they were so catchy. Let's go multiplayer. They had to scrap the multiplayer option. That's unfortunate. I mean, it'd be amazing if it worked, but if they couldn't get it to work, I can understand. This is like, for one person especially, this is a huge project. Like, that's insane to think one person is working on that. That's actually insane. It got the okay from Lego. Oh my god, I would actually get scared that Lego would like try to give them a seat. Yeah, Nintendo. Lego gave them the okay, but when anyone else tries to do a fan project, you're like, nah. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that would have been cool if that's what the GameCube game ended up being. Unfortunately, Duck will be able to tell you during his shenanigans run of Bionicle. That is not how the GameCube game ended up being, unfortunately. God, that looks so good, though. Props to the guy that's hard at work on this. I mean, holy heck, for one person, that's a lot. Like, that is a huge undertaking. You first saw that trailer and I was 13 again. Aww. Remember when we were all 13? Good times. Good time. Remember when Limited 2 was still around when I was 13? I just aged myself. Don't mind me. Anyway, Luna's staring at me. So that probably means we should go. You know, Luna, I just have to go back to work, right? Hop on board, Mama. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Yes, I'm gonna go. Yep, she's here. Are you gonna say goodbye to chat? Are you gonna say goodbye to chat? Please don't, Luna. Please don't walk in front of me from now on. We have a new rule in the show. Don't walk in front of me. Anyway, say goodnight, everybody. Tell her she's a good bean. I'm gonna see who's still alive that we can go hit up for a raid. And we're just, oh my gosh, we're just gonna go see who's still alive and we can go have a good time over. I know I'm gonna need some friends to hang out with. I still got so much work to do. But thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. I hope you really enjoyed Ace Attorney night. I hope it was a good time. And like I said, I'll get schedule up. But there's the socials for anybody who would like them. You never have to, but they are there just in case. I'm gonna get the second part of Crowd Control Spookies up on YouTube, and then, oh gosh, I still need to quick link the TikTok account because I'm so bad. I haven't had a chance to make a video because I've been drowning in work. I'm so sorry. I need to get back on that. But oh my goodness gracious, let me see who is. Luna, do you want to help me see who's live? Do you want to help me pick? Unless anyone has any suggestions, you're a good girl. I love you so much. Oh, my baby. Anyway, I think, are both? Oh, my goodness gracious. What friends are still alive? I want to go hit up so many friends. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I might, oh, do I need to, oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, well, I'm peeping into Shadow's stream real quick, because Shadow's usually not live right now. But Shadow's still going with Baldur's Gate 3, so we can go hang out. And Barista's there. You wanna go say hi, Miss Luna? She wants to go see. She's watching Baldur's Gate now. So we'll go see. We'll give them a hello and the love. But yeah, I will be back. I will be back next week. For sure. But you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. And if I don't see you during the marathon, I hope your weekend is good and fantastic, and I hope you have a good time. You're able to get some R&R, whatever you guys need. There's a raid message I almost forgot before we go say hi to Shadow. There's the raid command, and I shall see you guys otherwise on Tuesday then. Take care of yourselves. Like I said, thank you so much for hanging out. It means the world to me, everyone who's here tonight. Thank you so much for everything. And I love this cat. Anyway, let's go hang out by Shadow. I'm gonna go get some work done. I'm gonna go get ready for this weekend. I'm probably gonna pull an all-nighter, so wish me luck. And I love you guys. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Don't be like me. Stay hydrated. And don't forget that I love you. You are fantastic. And you will always be loved and valid, and I love you. And I'm gonna try not to pull an all-nighter, but Okami's probably not gonna, take care of herself. That doesn't mean you shouldn't take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Anyway, I'm blabbering. I'm gonna go get some Bertas of work done. And I'm gonna go get ready for this weekend. And I'm gonna miss you guys so much, and I will see you on Tuesday. If I don't see you this weekend, I'm blabbering. I'm repeating myself. I love you. Have a good night, guys. Give Shadow Marissa my love. Bye!